All right, thank you so much. You're welcome to this session, and thank you for accepting the invitation to be part of this today. As we start, I would like you to introduce yourself to us.
My name is Michael Obafemi Olowu.
Okay.
Obafemi meaning the king loves me. I was born in Nigeria. Part of my education was in Nigeria. Today, I work in a private bank.
Can you tell us about yourself, about your career journey, as we will call it, from maybe secondary school? How did you get into what you got into? What inspired you? What did you study in school? And how did you take your journey from that to where you are today? Maybe just briefly, paraphrase.
Interesting. Very interesting. You know, when I was in secondary school, I could sing, you know. So I'm going to be doing. I laugh about this a lot because those are good memories. I could sing, and I was actually I think I was about 10 or 12. So I was the assistant choir leader in CNS church.
Okay.
The White Garment church, you know. I could sing, and I could really sing well. Like I knew I could sing well. But somehow or something, you know, I can't explain it. I just felt inclined towards going to school, studying, instead of just going to church and singing, which was good. I just wanted to study. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to do these subjects and I'm going to pass them. I remember telling myself, maybe I should chip this in, you know. When I was 14, I left secondary school at 14. And I was very good.
14 years old, you finished year 12.
I finished. Yeah, I was out of secondary school by 14. And between us, I had to falsify my age because I couldn't write JAM. Then you have to be 16 to write JAM.
Yeah.
So I had to, my dad had to tell me, change your 1970. So I could write JAM. Now, inside me, I knew I wasn't serious that year. I wasn't because I wasn't just focused.
You were too young.
I was. And I knew it. I was the youngest. I was the youngest in my set. At that set, I was the young.
You should be year 9.
I was already out of secondary school by 14, but I wasn't focused. I think it was just. I wasn't focused. That was just it. I am trying to be, you know, I want to be as brief as much as possible. I wasn't focused.
Let me ask you a question before you go on. Did you have the physique? I know you're big now, you know. I've always known you to be big. But when you were that 14, did you have that physique? Like at 14, I
looked, even now, I don't look my age.
Okay.
I was the smallest. I was the youngest in the set. I don't know if there's any other person that surpassed that record in that school. But I remember we had to lie that I was 16 in school. But inside me, I knew I was 14 because my friends were already telling me, you are too small. You go back to Form 3. And then so you can do Form 4 and Form 5. You know, so that you can, because you are too young for what you want to do. You know, you are too young. So I had to lie. My dad said, tell them you are 16. So you can write. So I had to tell them in school I was 16. And then I had to tell them when I was filling my JAM form that I was 16 as well. So I could write JAM because then it was like, you must be 16 years or older. So, but I wasn't focused, so I failed. But I remember telling myself, because I know what I can do, you know, one of the things that we all know as individuals is you just know your capabilities. One of the things that can help you as an individual is to know what you can do. You ask yourself questions. What can I do? And I told myself, I will pass English, economics, government, commerce, business method. Those 5. Mathematics, I manage. But those 5, there's nowhere they're going to put it on this, and I'm going to pass it. I wasn't serious. So when of course at 15, I said the same thing to myself. I said those 5 subjects, mathematics and health science, okay, let me see. But those English, government, commerce, economics, business method, those 5, there's nowhere they're going to mark it on this test. And I was just 15. Now, in the school record, I was 17, but I was 15. Long story short, I went and wrote. Of course, I wrote to WAEC again and I passed. at 15. But when we were writing government, I fell sick. They actually took me to the hospital. They rushed me to the hospital that day. So I failed government. But of course, I passed the other courses, the other subjects. I was so angry because government was one of my best subjects. So I said, you know what? I was so angry with mathematics. I said, what kind of insult is this? So at 16, I went back. Of course, I passed government, but I didn't pass mathematics. But I was ready to get into uni.
Okay.
In fact, at 15, I was ready to get. I remember Ilaro Polytechnic giving me admission. Then you just go there, you show them your result. The guy said, we'll admit you for secretarial studies. You can't do this because you haven't passed maths. But I felt insulted, like, I want to do, I think it was business admin. Oh. I just wanted to do business admin. I didn't want to do secretarial admin. I said, how can I'm a man, how would I be doing sec admin, because at that age, I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I wanted, I knew where I was going.
Wow.
I was going to do business admin.
As early as that?
Yeah, from that age, I had this entrepreneurial thing about me of, the survival instinct. I call it survival instinct or independent. I was just like I just wanted to be independent. I remember then I'll buy soap, I'll buy my cream, my toothpaste. And my was like, but there's one for the house. I just wanted to do it for myself. I just wanted to that independence thing. I wanted to just do this all by myself. I know I think someone was like, you're so proud, you're so full of yourself. Because I knew where I was going, I knew what I wanted to do.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Did you know from secondary school the course you wanted to study? Did you know?
I wanted to study.
Okay, good.
Okay, I wanted to study business administration.
From secondary school?
I wanted to study from secondary school because, I'd read the JAM brochure and they had mentioned that you have to do English, maths, commerce, economics, government. For you to, and of course, I said business administration. No, business method. Yeah, that was the course. The subject it was business method. I said, I'm going to do those 6 subjects. So, and I wanted to go and do business admin. But when mathematics started acting up, I said, you know what, go and do. And I knew I was very good in my spoken English was very good. So I said, I'm going to do law, English, or mass communication just to get into university. And I never wanted to go to a polytechnic. My brother, my elder brother would say, you're so full of yourself. At that age, I said, I'm not going to Poly. Poly for who? I have 5 credits now. Why should I go to Poly? I feel insulted. I'm going to Unilag or last 2. Worst case scenario, last 2. But I wanted to do, but when I wrote maths one more time and I had P8 or F9. I thought, oh my God, no, please just forget this thing. I'm not doing this thing again, I'm going to get into school with this 5 subjects. Much later I will now combine it and do it at one sitting, but these 5 subjects will get me into uni, at least I know, because the 5 subjects are complete, But I wanted to answer your question, I've always wanted to do business admin, and maybe now is getting clearer with me why I was tilting in that direction at that age, because business admin has to do with, you are going to be dealing with some depending on the type of business you do, you'll be dealing with the government, with leadership, with administration, with resourcefulness, with all of those things. And looking at my life now, all of those things are beginning to come together from why I wanted to do those things from an early childhood.
Okay, you just mentioned childhood. Let me ask you, what would you say is your funniest childhood experience?
Too many. As at that age, outside the fact that I could sing.
Okay.
I was also Ajago. Ajago is we call them ushers now. Then in the White Garment Church, the Aladura Church we were attending, we will be the ushers. So stand by the door, you have your white regalia, and they will put this red rope, amore.
Okay.
Put it here, and I would use that to do stuff, like harass people.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was an usher. Close your eyes, let's start.
Okay.
From an early age, I wielded some kind of influence, Now I can say those things taught me how to use influence to do the right thing. And looking back in retrospect, it's clear to me now why, so I did some of those things, because I was in some kind of, I wielded some kind of influence. I remember being I had people that were then in church, in that Aladra church. I had people that were more. I remember two of my friends beating me up, but I was still the head of the boys. Beat because I used to fight. Like I don't tolerate. I'll just fight. We'll fight, and they will beat me up. I remember two of them beating me up. But there was something about me that they recognized me as the head of all the young boys in church. I was just 12, 13, 14. I remember, they still recognize there was just something that, you know, and it's part of being a leader. Like, you just know how to talk to people, how to manage people. As I was just 12, 13, 14. But I would just there's just something about being able to carry people along, listen to people, laugh with them, you know, did all kinds of stuff together. And I wasn't the best fighter. I wasn't like I remember two of my friends beating me up, you know, I couldn't fight, you know.
Okay, let's go to this. Let's go to this. What will be the three values or virtues that you admire most in people?
I think integrity. One of the things, I have people that I look up to. I call it high moral rectitude. Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
With his 7 years in prison. Barack Obama, first black president, American president. And if you look at Tony Robbins, if you look at his so many things about him, but see what he's doing today. He's the world's best motivational speaker. For you to attend Tony's workshop, you need to, I think it's $10,000. For you to register, not even a one-on-one session. He will tell you, see, after this session, if you are not satisfied, we'll return your money.
Wow.
He will return. Well, after this meeting with you, if you are not satisfied, we'll come to the bank, we'll return your money. That's how sure of for the quality of what we're giving to you. We're talking about world leaders. High moral rectitude. These guys are not perfect, but for me, those things just stand out. That high moral rectitude stands out for me a lot. Because we are human beings, we all make mistakes, but there's just that attitude of I want to do the right thing. I want to do it the right way. And then the second one is positive mental attitude. You can never ever be anything on this earth if this mindset doesn't change. I don't care how powerful, how rich, or how intelligent you are. If your mindset does not change about that thing, you will never get out of that situation. First, for me, that moral rectitude, the PMA, and resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the ability to look at things and just turn things around. We live in a world where there's so much. We are so blessed in this generation with the amount of information we have at our disposal. There's so much. Is it YouTube, TikTok, IG, Instagram, Facebook? The amount of information, and some of these things are free. Like, these are things that make life better for you. Those principles are there. Resourcefulness, your mindset, and that, because no matter how right your mindset is, no matter how positive, no matter how resourceful you are, if you don't have morals, I'm sorry, just have those three things are just a combination of those three things that I hold in high esteem as an individual.
Okay, thank you. Your favorite food?
Is jollof rice, particularly, this jollof rice with the party jollof rice. Jollof rice, the one they do for parties, is different from the one they cook at home.
Okay.
There's one that they say they want to do party, they say party jollof.
Yeah, party.
Oof. If you give me that one with chicken and salad,
okay.
I need extra self-control.
All right, thank you for that. What are your top 3 motivations in life? Faith
just means believe in yourself. It just motivates me. Let me quickly share this. I remember when I left Bank of the West. My banking career started here in the US at Bank of the West. And I remember I had one, initially was a bit rough, but I got through it. And I eventually won the All-Star Awards back to back, which was like, man, where's this guy coming from? In fact, I wasn't competing at the regional level, I was competing at the state level. My records, the way that it's structured is, you are competing at this region. Region means like maybe about 6 branches. Okay. And then you start competing at the state level where I'm dealing with maybe like 40 or 50 branches. I wasn't competing at the regional, I was competing at the state level. I had won the All-Star Awards. Now, where I'm going is this. When I told my manager, he said, we're not sure you can do it because Bank of America is a fast-paced company, fast-paced bank, it's faster, the way they're thinking, everything about it is, And I said, I like challenges, so I'll take up the challenge. I will take up the challenge. I like challenges, and if I fail, I fail. I would have learned from it, but I like challenges, and I just believe that I would do it. And I went to Bank of America. Now, for about the first 2 years, I'm going to talk about my record there for the first 2 years. I had won about 10 to 12 global recognitions. A global recognition is when they recognize, maybe your manager or somebody recognizes you and they say, that's that's outside of the fact that my sales, I was doing 300% in sales. My customer service was 100%. This is the guy that they thought would never do it. Faith. I just believed in myself. I believed. I remember when I first joined, my manager said, about 3 things are working against you here. Your accent.
Okay.
You are black. I remember I mentioned those 2 things.
Okay.
He said you are black, and then your accent. I've never been able to speak American accent, But I had the attitude to win. I wanted to win, and I told myself, whatever it costs to win. I know there are universal laws of nature that work. One of them is you must have good communication skills, interpersonal skills, people, and no matter what you do, you show it. People see it. So I would go there confident. I would go there with the mindset of I'm here to serve you. Good morning and welcome here. What's your name? My name is Michael. I'm here to serve you today. What can we do for you? To make sure you are properly served, you want to have a seat. So this guy is so courteous. Where is he from? That's where the conversation starts. Give me 2 guesses. Africa, yeah, we're in Africa. I call those things icebreakers. How are you doing today? We're here to serve. That's what we're paid. You know why we're paid? Because you bank here. Really? Yeah, and that's why we're here to serve you. People want to hear those things. See, those things and human beings, and when they see that you are genuine, because I told myself you have to succeed here. And you don't go there with the mindset of, well, I'm just a nigger. No. I go there with I got there early, I get there before time. I followed all the procedures and the rules and every policies. When the customers come in, oh, good morning and welcome. How are you doing today? Not, hello. Hi, good to see you. How are you? I've been expecting you. And once I know you, I call you by name. Oh, hold on. What do you want? Listen. Repeat the question to the person. Is that what you want? Are you saying you want us to see what we can do about your overdraft fees? Good. Let me see what I can do to assist you today. Listen. It's good listening. Good communication skills. See, when people see all those, when they're ready to do business with you. And in the course of that, you tell them, what about taking advantage of this? What about doing this? Oh, this account is not giving you the best interest. We can move it to this account. We can switch it to this account that gives you even more interest. Really? Yes. And when I do that, I get credit for it. Now, the customer is not aware. I'm aware. It's not even the benefit. It's the fact that guy is being properly served. He's getting value for his savings with us. For me, and everything boils down to that faith. I just believe, and when I believe in it, I put all the resources together to get it. I don't just talk faith. I act it. I go there early. I show up. I don't just call in sick. Arbitrarily. I don't. Even there was a time that during COVID, I worked as a teller for almost a month, all alone in that branch. The line would go through the door. I remember standing for about 9 hours. Standing, taking clients. I told my boss, don't worry. I want to make sure these guys are served. I'll skip lunch. We usually have this 10 minutes, so I'll skip it. I'm going to serve them. It's taking the line. 9 to 4, 5. So, see, when all these recognitions come, and people see it, you see my name there? I see the great in you. Congratulations, awards. When people see all these things, they don't come easy. It's a dint of hard work. I don't know it. I go and ask my manager. I don't assume I know it. Right? Faith is not just about talking, acting it to achieve your desired goal. For me, faith is about all of these things. That's one of my strong motivations. Resourcefulness. Oh my God. Resourcefulness will come through networking. I remember when I was going to do a business with you, Paul. Remember, we started this t-shirt business. And I remember the first one of the designs you gave me. In one day, we had over 100 likes. You remember?
You told me, yeah.
And then we sent this, if not for this guy that I just we gave the website to the guy, just messed up the whole plan, Not resourcefulness. Your ability to look at other networking, asking questions here and there. I remember talking to Uncle. Uncle was like, I'm in touch. Paul can help you with that. Really? Do you have his number? And that's what we're able to say. If that thing had become viral, it's as a result of the resources I was able to tap into through networking. You see how it works? Resourcefulness. And then diligence, hard work. I get there early. I leave late. And you need to see my work ethics. My friends will tell you at my work that it's as if Mike will want to go and bring clients from the road and say, come here, we want to serve you. That's the attitude. And if you ask people that I work with when I was at Citibank Nigeria, they will tell you the same thing. So for me, those are it's a combination of three things: faith, resourcefulness, and diligence.
Wow. What would you say is your happiest career moment?
So many. I mean, I don't know where to start. Career, I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed. When I won the All-Star Awards at Bank of the West, the first one, nobody expected it, because I had, how it is now. You go to a place where people don't really believe in you, where people think you won't do it, and it came as a surprise. Honestly, it came as a very pleasant surprise. They just know how it is, just the rating. It's like, these are the top performers for this quarter, and then the final result comes out, and they say the All-Star Awards goes to Animation. What? You mean me? All-Star Awards? Here? I mean, and then that was the fun. And then, of course, the following quarter, it was the same thing. It was like, what? Why are you doing this, back to back? For me, there are so many of them. And then, when I went to Bank of America, and in about 3 months, I've got one of my recognitions already. Global recognition is big. It's big. Fine, they don't pay you a lot, depending on your category. But the fact that in about 3 to 6 months, I was being recognized in a global organization, for me, it's mind blowing. And then I've always wanted to get into Harvard. I've always wanted to go to school. I'm like, Harvard, Harvard. I want to go to Harvard. And there's this course that I had applied for. It didn't work out. Long story short, I did the application again.
Wow.
So when they said, the lady had called me and said, I don't want to say anything in my work, because I don't know if you guys are going to admit me or not. When she called and said, congratulations, that this Harvard is going to be on my certificate, on my resume. I'm going to have a...
Wow, that's great. Congrats.
Congratulations. Oh my God. Thank you.
Okay, my next question is this. Your top 3 or best 3 decisions in life.
School. Why? Because I love knowledge. I want to know. My decision to acquire knowledge by going to a school of learning. So if you look at that more broadly speaking, it's not just about going to university and getting a first degree and getting a second and doing a PhD. It might just be to acquire knowledge. It might just be to learn a trade, to learn a skill, to learn an art. It's all about knowledge. For me, it was just about that thing. In my own case, it was like, learn how things work, leadership, management, administration, economics, commerce, trading. For me, that was for me. Was a decision, because I remember then before I went to school, I had a job. I had a very good job. I was working in the modeling agency and the fashion house, and we're doing really well. I remember I was going to get a job as a model for one of these jobs. So it was everything I wanted. But I remember telling my boss, I just want to go to school. I was like, well, we're doing well. This business has picked up. I said, I know, but I want to go to school. I want to go to school. That decision to go to school is still one of the best decisions I've taken in my life. My decision to accept Jesus is still number one. Number two, to go to school. And number three is to chart the course I've charted for myself in leadership. My decision to say, you know what, I'm going to learn about leadership, about administration, about interpersonal skills, so I can do more for people in that area. Those are the three decisions.
All right. What would you like to correct in your past if you have the power to do that?
I would have been focused when I was 14. When I was 14, I would have been focused. Now you know how time is. You know that time is man's greatest enemy and asset, depending on how you look at it. Because before you know it, you ask yourself, what have I done in the last 10 years of my life? And you're not getting younger. So depending on how you look at it, time can be your greatest enemy. Now, if I knew that, I would have been focused, But maybe the hype of, 14, I'm done and dusted with secondary school. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would be focused. And then the second thing, I wouldn't move with the kind of friends I moved with then, I would look for friends that would motivate me. I would be more focused. I'll probably pass, of course, leave secondary school at 14 and graduate at 18, serve 19, do my master's at 20.
All right. Are you a book person or a movie person?
How to answer that question? Now, in the last couple of years, I have done more of listening.
Okay.
Listening, more of listening. Why? Because of what I do. Now, if I'm going to get into, I've read more academic books in the last few years of my life because of, I'm always doing stuff. And so I'm more of a listener now. In the last couple of my years of my life, I've been listening more in terms of developing myself. Then, of course, academically, books, so many books to read. You have to read to pass.
You are currently a banker. If not in your current career, what other career could it have been?
You'd probably be a footballer or musician.
Oh, do you play football?
Oh my God. When I was with Citibank Nigeria, I remember I was a number one goalkeeper. And that's even when I was even working. And I remember playing if you go to the Bankers League, if you go to Citibank's, I don't know if they still have it, but Bankers League 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. My name, I was one of the Citibank's goalkeeper now.
Oh.
Number one. Yeah.
Now, were you so good that you think you could have been a professional?
Well, the usual stuff. You start playing football when you are in Nigeria. You start playing football as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I used to play forward. I remember before I used to play forward. I used to be a striker. Now you can call it a striker. I'll tell my friend, just kick it and let it get to me, and let me see the goalkeeper that will catch this shot, because I could shoot. And I used to say to man, I don't care how good you are. You goalkeeper. I mean, I can't dribble, but if I fire you shot, you can't catch it. But as time went on, I noticed that maybe the goalkeepers were I said, these guys are not doing, I can do better than these guys. Meanwhile, there were a lot of strikers, and if they kicked you, as a striker, before you get to that ball and face the goalkeeper, it's like war. So I said, no, I can do better than all of these guys that are staying in this post. You allow the ball to just be going inside. I can dive. So I switched. I said, I'm not going to play striker again. I'm going to play role of a striker again. I'm going to be a goalkeeper.
So my next question to you now is, What will be your 5 takeaways on a getaway?
Give me my phone, give me the charger to my phone, give me access to the internet, and let me have data. Most of the things I need
are on the phone.
They're on this phone.
All right. Okay, last question. This question for me is very important. It wraps up everything we've been talking about, number 1. Number 2, it's one of the major reasons for this program. What are your top 3 counsels to youth, to students in secondary school, to students in the university, to young people who want to be great in life and they are currently struggling, they don't know how to go about it? Top 3 counsels to young people.
Believe that I'm going to get there. Have a vision. Believe. You have to believe first, and then you have to have a vision. It's not enough to believe. What are you believing? Vision. And then resources, resourcefulness. So for me, those are the 3 things. You have to believe first and foremost that, I'm going to get to where I'm going to do this. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E. Have it all listed out. Write it out. Make it plain. Vision. Believe. Vision. Resources. Resources could be people, could be books, could be materials, could be friends, could be relatives, could be... there's just so many. I remember when I was in school, I had to humble myself and go and ask a lady to help, let's study together. Let's read together. And I would go, we had these small classes. We call them a group discussion. I remember then it was group discussion. And we would ask, because I'd seen her record. She was doing really, really well. I was when I was going to that next class, I was at 3.01. She was at 3.3 or something. That semester, after working with her, gathering information from her and all that, from other people, when my results came out, I was at 3.47 out of 4.00. I was the second in class. Simple. It's as simple as that. It's the same principle. If you are in your class and you are struggling with maybe a course or a subject, look for someone that knows it better than you do. If you are the best in that subject or in that course, go online and gather more resources on that subject. It's very simple. One of the blessings we have in this generation is that we have access to more information. Internet, World Wide Web, all over the world. You have access to information from people in the Middle East, from people in Australia, just Europe, Africa, America, 5 continents, having information to all that, access to all that information at your fingertips just by the push of a button on your phone. The world is limitless. Ideas, resources. For me, those are the things that, and then like I said, belief, vision, and resources. It doesn't have to be human beings, and they don't have to be alive. They don't have to be, no. Miles Munro is one of the people I love, and I still listen to Miles Munro till tomorrow because of the information. That information is evergreen. For me, once you have that, but your mind is key. It's important. It's extremely important. It's good to have a vision. It's good to have resources. But if this thing is not properly aligned, if this brain, because it is the ground for that battle, if that battle is not won here, I'm sorry, you can't do anything. Thank you so much for your time.
Wow, thank you so much.